Everything is falling into place perfect for the Eagles. Dallas still stinks. Yo, my do-it, King Dingbat here. Hope everybody's having a great day. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're hanging in there. You know, the Eagles are in a perfect spot to add to this team with roster spots open, cap space available. The Eagles are in just a wait-and-see game, wait for the right situation. Well, everything that we talked about happening this summer is happening to perfection for the Eagles, and they're about to benefit in it in a big way. But before we get into it, if you're new to the channel and you like the content, make sure you hit that like button. More importantly, make sure you subscribe to the most censored, the most throttled Eagles content creator in all of the internet. And if you've been subscribed for a while, I just want to thank you so much for all the support you give to me. It truly means a lot. And if you've been subscribed for a while, I just have to say, if you don't mind, just double check, double moonwalk check. Make sure you're still subscribed and everything, because things have been a little wonky. Now, in this video, I kind of want to talk about where the Eagles are at, because we are in a situation that we talked about being in a month ago. We said, with all these guys like DeAndre Hopkins, YANNIck NGAKOUE, Budda Baker still out there, Byard out there, with all these guys in the position where they are, if we get closer to training camp, if we get into training camp, this is going to bode well for the Philadelphia Eagles. And as you can see, none of these guys have been signing. Nobody has gone and signed with a new team. And it's looking like the Eagles are in a situation that if we get to another week or so with these guys not signing, the Eagles are going to be in a situation to come in, swoop in, and get some of these guys, right? It's going perfect. Check this out. Dov Kleeman, he updated the DeAndre Hopkins situation today, and he said this, update. The Pound Titans have made wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins a, quote, more aggressive offer than the Pound Patriots per Mike Reese. Both teams have made contract offers to Hopkins, yet Hopkins hasn't signed. Hopkins hasn't signed, and this is exactly what we were talking about a month ago. When we talked about DeAndre Hopkins, when we talked about some of these guys, we said, these guys, if they don't sign and we get closer to camp, this is when the Eagles will have the opportunity to come in and possibly get them. Because what's going to happen is DeAndre Hopkins, he's not signed a contract yet. He could go settle for the Patriots. He could go settle for the Tennessee Titans, but he knows he's not going to win there. And you know he wants to get a certain amount of money, and if he's not going to get it, what's he going to do? Sometimes, a lot of times, the later you go, these guys wind up taking one-year deals. And the fact that we're talking a month later about DeAndre Hopkins and these other guys, and they haven't signed, this means that the Eagles are going to have a chance to maybe go in there and get one of these guys cheap. And that's what I think the Eagles are waiting for. It's exactly what I think the Eagles are waiting for. What do we have? 3 or 4 roster spots open right now. They're open. You have about $14 million in cap space. The fact that none of these guys have signed, I think, is going to mean the Eagles are going to make a play for one of them. Who will it be? I don't know. And to be quite honest with you, I don't really care. Just go out and get the guy you need to get. I mean, think about this. DeAndre Hopkins, he's not getting the money he wants. So what does he do? He goes to a really bad team on a one-year deal, or if you're going to sign a one-year deal, you say, no, I'd rather go to a team that has a chance to win, because, one, I want to win, and two, I think that if I go somewhere and help somebody win, it's going to help my chances of getting a contract. So that's where he's going to go. He's going to want to put himself with a place, with a team, with a good quarterback. This is when the Eagles have an opportunity. They really want DeAndre Hopkins. If he's not signed going into camp, the Eagles got a legitimate chance. And let's say the Eagles don't want DeAndre Hopkins. Let's say they want to make a trade for Budda Baker. Well, the longer you go, the less value I think the Cardinals are going to get back in a trade offer. Why did the Cardinals wait so long after June 1st to possibly trade this guy when we all know he wants out? We all know that he's trying to get out of there. They're probably going to move him at some point. Why would they wait and continue to hurt their value? You see, what happens is all these teams at this point in the year, they've already used up their cap space. They've already used up their money. Now they've been signing rookies and stuff. And you get these free agents and they want the big money that they normally would get on the market, but they can't because teams have already spent their money. So they have an option. You can go to a really crappy team that has a ton of cap space and be stuck, or you play a one-year deal with a team with a quarterback that can win. And you try to go over there, you try to win, you try to be a good teammate, and then you try to get your value up going into next offseason. Same with the trade for Budda Baker. So I think the longer this all goes, the better it is for the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles are going to be able to get somebody. I have no doubt in my mind that there will be somebody significant that this team brings in either right before camp or like right when camp starts. That's just history. If you look at the history of Howie Roseman and the Philadelphia Eagles, they like to make moves late in the offseason, right before camp. They wait for guys of value to become available. I think if you look at Chauncey Gardner-Johnson last year, right, and they got him right before camp started. I think that the Saints should have been able to get more for him. But they didn't because they waited too long. I think the same thing is going to ring true with the Cardinals and Budda Baker. So we'll see. You look at a guy like Yannick Ngakoue. Yannick Ngakoue, they're saying he wants between $8 to $10 million a year. $8 to $10 million a year to sign for a team, and he'd like to sign a multi-year contract. I think if that is on the lower end of $8 million, I think that he'll sign somewhere. The longer this thing gets played out, the longer it's drawn out, the better a chance like the Eagles, even a team like the Cowboys for that matter, they have a chance to sign them. Teams that are capable of winning this year, that are legitimate contenders, their opportunity to sign these guys happen the longer this thing goes. And the fact that DeAndre Hopkins is thinking about offers from the Titans, then the Patriots, you have the Browns. There were reports that the Browns want to get him, but he's got to come down in price. So I think the Eagles are in the perfect situation. They're sitting there waiting for one of these guys to basically lower their price, make it a value, and then they're going to sign them. Now, which player do I think the Eagles would go out and get? It's very interesting. I mean, you got some good players out there, right? Even DALVIN Cook is still available, right? They just said that Miami tried to sign him. He didn't think he was getting paid enough. He said no. Well, you know what? In 2-3 weeks, that's going to be a lesser offer. The longer they wait, the longer they draw it out, the less value they're going to get. And the less that they get puts the Eagles in play. I don't think the Eagles will go after DALVIN Cook, by the way. I don't think that'll happen. However, I do think DeAndre Hopkins is definitely a possibility. And then I think Yannick Ngakoue is a definite possibility. I think Yannick Ngakoue, like I said, he would be my number one guy. I think getting another defensive end, somebody that could come in, rotate in, you could have him multi-years. So if Brandon Graham declines or goes somewhere else, you have somebody to replace him. I think it would be a great move. The guy had 9.5 sacks. He had 9.5 sacks. He's still in the market. So I think when you look at it, he's probably be my number one free agent target, followed by DeAndre Hopkins. And then, of course, a trade for Budda Baker. I mean, how much sense does that make? It would make a lot of sense. Plus, the Cardinals owe us. I mean, let's face it. The team owes us. They owe us after what they did. Jeez, hold on, I need a drink. I've been working outside in the back and in the front. Man, whatever I'm like, I was like trimming flowers and weeds and all that stuff. Man, it's bringing up all my allergies. So crazy. I never had allergies until I moved out here. Never, ever. It's crazy. But anyways, the update for these guys and for all these free agents still available is they haven't signed. They're not close to signing. And the longer it goes, the better it is for the Philadelphia Eagles, because the Eagles are going to be able to swoop in and sign these guys at a bargain. Now, if I had to guess, who do I think the Eagles go out and get? It's hard to say. It's hard to say. I will say this. I go back and forth between Budda Baker and DeAndre Hopkins. And I just think to myself, if DeAndre Hopkins really wanted to play for the Eagles, if he came to the Eagles and said, I really want to play 1 year for you guys. I would like to play with Jalen Hurts. I would like to come and have a chance to win. I'm willing to play as the number 3 wide receiver. I want to show teams I'm a good teammate, that I still can play so that I get a big payday next year. I think the Eagles would do it. I think they would do it because of what it would do for your offense. But it's going to be interesting. I expect the Eagles to make a move before camp starts. And the fact that all these guys are still available, it bodes well for the Eagles, whether it's a trade or free agent signing. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. Remember, it's Howie Vision. We're all just living in it. So funny to me. I have to say this, right? A while back, I did this short, right? It was a short clip, and it was on a UFO sighting that I was actually seeing with my family in the sky, right? And you should see the amount of people that are like, this is fake, this fraud, he's doing this, he's doing that. I'm going, oh my gosh, I can't believe like how people just are so dismissive of what I'm seeing. Everything that you could see on that video was the same things you could see with your own eyes. It was the truth. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen. The UFO did all these different moves, like looked like a donut, it split apart. And you could see this with your own eyes. And people would just be like so dismissive. Now, I don't care that there's dismissive, whatever. I just wonder this. How many times are we just always dismissing things that end up being true? That actually end up to be true? I have to go back and I have to look at things. I actually do, because I bet you there's a lot of sightings and things that I said, that's fake, that's fake, that's fake. Maybe they're not. Just a thought I had today. Denzel Washington out.